Mic check 1 2 1 2. You are now in the building with Coach K, and this is the Hustler's Journal podcast, live on YouTube.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now in the building with your boy Coach K, and this is the Hustler's Journal Season 2, Episode number 3. I'm so happy you guys have been able to join me for this episode because it's a special one. I don't want to keep it too long, but I want to make sure that everybody gets the point. Everyone feels motivated, inspired, energized, refocused after you're done listening to this entire episode. And I welcome feedback like no other. Please send me feedback, send me your thoughts, let me know what you think of the whole episode, let me know what you think of what has been discussed, what we talked about. As you know, right now, if you are living under a rock and you're not aware of what's happening in the world, around your community right now, we are in a lockdown. COVID-19, aka coronavirus, is real. It's real and it's taking effect on many people across the world. You can go online and you can read about all the stats that are happening, that are out there, that's pointing us in the direction of doom and despair for a lot of people. A lot of people are nervous, they're concerned, they're scared, they're in fear, they're wondering what's going to happen next, how are things going to be carried out, how am I going to make this money to pay for my bills, to take care of my family, am I ever going to get to see my friends in person again, am I going to be of good health, are they going to come up with a vaccine, something that's going to be able to save this, to cure people of this disease that's affecting millions of people across the world. And I say millions and I say even billions because the entire world is at a standstill right now, wondering what's going to happen next and how this is all going to play out. I don't want to dwell too much on the negative. This episode is about positive impacts, understanding how stress can affect us, how we can make these changes, these adaptations to be better for the long term, what we can do to play our part in order to maintain not only the cleanliness of our homes, cleanliness of our schools, of our workplaces, but just overall cleanliness in our communities to make sure that everyone's doing their part, because right now a lot of things are challenging people beyond thought. It's happening all across the world, as I mentioned. In countries, it's hitting hard. We think of our people out in Italy, United States, cases are growing there. Out here in Canada, cases are growing as well. And people are really have been taking a toll. This has really been taking a toll on a lot of people in more ways than one. And I wanted to share some tips and some tricks and some suggestions as to how we can combat this, how we can combat stress, how we can manage going through these changes, what might be considered a little bit of the norm going forward. We're not sure of how this is going to play out, but we have to do our best to just continue to live our lives in the best way possible, in the most positive way possible. And there's ways to do that. It's all about perspective change. It's all about thinking differently, seeing things differently. The biggest term of the year thus far in 2020 has been social distancing. What are some keys that are going to make it work? How can we benefit from this social distancing? How can we grow to appreciate people after it's all complete? Again, these are things that we're all thinking about, maybe some things that we wonder. Maybe now we appreciate being outside and that neighbor that we see that comes to talk to us while we're putting out the garbage, and we kind of dodge them and avoid them and go, oh man, I don't really want to talk to them today. Now we wish we had the opportunity to talk to them because now we can't. We are limited in what we can do. But that doesn't mean that our scope has to be limited. That doesn't mean that we have to be limited in our creativity. There are ways to work around this to make this the best way possible for everyone going forward. I want to send a special shout out to everyone who's affected right now by this illness in their own respective families. I know there's some families who are going through it. They've had family members who may have passed away. My condolences go out to you. Or maybe family members who are sick and be affected right now and they're under quarantine. There's some people who are coming back from down south who now have to be quarantined. And actually, I just read not so long ago that people are actually refusing to do that. They're saying, I don't need to be quarantined, I'm good. Not realizing the impact that it's having on people. And again, I don't want to go too much into detail, into the numbers. I don't want to talk about the negativity of everything. Just want to put the real life perspective, put things in real perspective for you guys to understand that this is real, this is happening. It's happening every day, and we have a way to combat it as best as we can. We're not ultimately going to solve disease and any other illnesses that ail us, there is a solution to that, which if you're interested, send me a DM, send me an email. I'd be glad and more than happy to talk to you about that. That's on a different spectrum of things, so we're not going to get into that right now. We just want to stay focused on how we can create a positive experience out of all of this, what we can learn from it, and how we can move that, create a positive impact within our own communities, within our own homes. When this is all over, we have something to learn from and how we can grow from this. A famous rapper named Cameron, he had a quote from a song called "Welcome to New York City," and it says, "There's a war going on outside no one is safe from. Don't matter if you're 3 feet or 8'1". He's talking about height. We can even throw in there, it doesn't matter your race, it doesn't matter your age or religion, it doesn't matter your wealth status. This war that we're experiencing right now is affecting everybody. The pleas to stay home are heavy. We see it even through our social media. They now have different icons that they're putting out to people to post within their posts to share and encourage everyone to stay home. Stay home, chill at your house. I know it sometimes gets a little tiring to stare at the four walls in your home, but again, I want to bring out the positive effects of this entire change and how we can actually benefit from this period of pausing, what it can do for us going forward, what things we want to look out for, and how we can actually make turn our creative minds into machines that can definitely generate ideas that will help us and help other people to get through this whole scenario. And again, I thank you guys for listening in on this episode, season number 2, episode 3 of the Hustler's Journal. This week has been, well, actually last week was the first week of our quarantine. Now things have been stepped up here in Montreal, where non-essential services have been shut down. So your grocery store, your pharmacy, doctor's offices, anything that has to do with the supply chain of getting food to people, supplying to people, to protecting them, to providing for them, to provide for their families is still available to us. But non-essential services like malls, driving schools, cafeterias, coffee shops, stuff like that have been shut down. They do have drive-through services they're allowing. Uber Eats is probably on heavy right now, and they're doing curbside pickups and drop-offs. A lot of online businesses and deliveries have been flourishing, I'm sure. I'm still getting emails from RW & Co., who provides me with suits. When I say provide, I mean I go into the store and I buy them myself. They are also putting out ads for Staples, for Best Buy, how you can order stuff and it can be delivered to your house without any need for signing and things like that. And of course, you run into fears of like, what if you order something and it gets stolen? Now, the fact that people can't get outside limits that from happening. But again, being it as it is with the advancement of technology, now we're able to see our front door. When a person rings the doorbell, we're able to see who's there. The camera's there to be able to tell us who's been on our property, so we can identify people and quickly have things solved from there. So obviously there are some positives that come from that. But again, we are not left in the dark. All this information is available to us. We're able to access it online. If you go onto your local websites, on your provincial websites, your city websites, wherever city you're from, it helps us to really realize that we are being taken care of, guys. So we want to definitely shout out to all the healthcare workers, everyone who's working tirelessly to make sure that people are being protected, everyone who's encouraging us to stay home. Please, guys, do what you need to do. Stay home. Put your life on pause for a moment and do something different for the time being. I definitely want to shout out these grocery workers who are exposed to people coming in each and every day because they don't know who's coming in. I know that I heard, I think either Provigo or Maxi & Co. or some grocery store, I think the Loblaws chain, they plan on putting up a plexiglass covering for cashiers to protect them, which I think is smart. They have them wearing gloves and everything. I know I went to Starbucks the other day. I passed a girl $5 and she sprayed my $5 with Lysol. People are doing what they need to do to protect themselves because this is a serious thing that needs to be taken into greater consideration. We can't be joking around about this. I go outside for runs and I'm seeing people congregating together. And I know they're not in the same house. They're meeting together to go on group walks and stuff like that. And now it's been said that you can get a ticket, $1,000 for being outside. So save your money, don't get a ticket. Now's not the time to cheat on your spouse. Okay, so husbands or wives, if you are thinking of going to meet up with your mistress or mistress, Now's not the time because it's double whammy. You get outside, you get a ticket, and also you can catch coronavirus. So there for sure you are caught, and if you are caught, you deserve it. But I'm just saying, again, not to sprinkle any sort of negativity out there, just putting out there that, guys, everything is on pause right now. So we need to be aware of what we need to do and how we can move forward going through with this. Highlights of this past week have been amazing, phenomenal, especially on the fitness industry because I'm a fitness trainer. I've been sharing people's posts, different workout ideas. Everyone's coming out with stuff at home. What you can do at home to do this, do that has been amazing. I'm seeing people put stuff on Facebook, but a lot of trainers have been using Instagram. A lot of trainers are now using, I think they're going to start using Zoom. They have all these other digital platforms. They're able to train their clients from home. I know I've been using FaceTime to work with some of my clients, which has been amazing. We're still out here trying to help our clients get results. So that's been fun. So anybody who is interested in going through that, again, you can send me a message, DM me, send me a text, send me an email. Let me know how I can get you started with that, because we want to keep things going. We want to keep your goals rolling as smoothly as possible. But of course, it comes with a little bit of obstacles because it's in your home. You might not have enough space. But when I first started as a trainer, I remember I had a client. Her name was Sophie. I used to go to her apartment, and she had literally zero space. She had space in her front foyer. And we did her entire workout in her front foyer, used a little bit of her kitchen. I was able to attach a TRX to her door and attach some bands. I brought bands, I bought a couple of things, and we did everything in her front foyer. She goes, how is it possible that you're able to create workouts? You don't need a lot of space. And I said to her, the truth is you don't need a building. You really just need you and arm's length distance around you, above, overhead, and you're absolutely fine. And people are now finding this to be possible, even though it's been the norm for a number of years. They're finding it to be the norm now. This is going to be the new normal for a bit. So we're just trying to equip people as best as we can to get adapted to things. I did a couple live classes last week. My wife jumped in and helped me out with that, which was awesome. I just finished up a Tabata class tonight. If you guys wonder what day it is, it's now Tuesday, going into Wednesday very soon. And I have classes 5 days a week. Not the same as I did before with bootcamp classes when I had more time. I do have, actually, it's funny, I have more time, but we don't have the space. But we're doing things virtually, and it has been working thus far. Other trainers have been putting things out there. Of course, I think of all my trainer friends and associates who are really doing the best they can to try and get into the live aspect of things. I know it's not normal for them. It's something new, talking to a camera and not having people around them for a physical response. Because usually when you have a class, you're able to say, can you guys hear me? Are you able to work with me? This is that. And you have to wait for people to respond by message. But if they're in the middle of the workout, they can't stop and text you something. So it kind of makes it a little bit complicated. But at the end of the day, people are getting adapted to it, and it's been fun. Thus far, I've had such a great response for the time being, and I continue to share other trainers, their content, anything that they're putting out there that's going to be able to help move the fitness community forward. I'm down for helping. I know that someone could look at it and say, Kareem, it's taking away from your business, it's taking away from your shine. Let me tell you something. I'm all about sharing shine with everybody. I'm not a person who likes to be in the center of the limelight. I never have been. Even at my own wedding, there was no way for me to hide. My wife felt the exact same way, because I'm not a person who needs to be the center of attention. I like being in the background. You know, on a movie set, I will be the director. I'm the guy behind the camera to say, okay, do this, do that, boom, boom, and watch it all come together. And having my opportunity to contribute to that by, you know, someone puts out a post, share it for them. Put it in my Instagram feed, put it in my story, shout people out in my live sessions as we go along. Just having random things to just talk about, to be able to say, hey, check this person out, check that person out, tag this person as they have a live session going on. It's creating and it's generating momentum. So even if it's not done back for me, I don't really care, because at the end of the day, I know that what I'm doing is I'm trying to move things forward, and everybody at the end of the day is going to benefit. I'm not looking at it from the benefit of for me only. I'm looking at it for the person who might just have 2 clients and they're thinking, oh man, I was working at the gym. What am I gonna do? I guess I can try a live session. Hey, if I can help promote them to get them more activity, more visibility, it's great. My Instagram interactions, just to talk about that for a second, has increased like crazy. I went from like maybe 383 to like 900 something. My Instagram followers have increased naturally just from continuing to interact, because people see, oh, I'm sharing their trainer. Oh, who's this person? They're tagging me, they're following me, things going back and forth. I'm working on ideas to collaborate with other people, doing different like type of live sessions where we have two people on the live. We're having a live interview to continue the Hustlers Journal chapters going forward, because again, we have to make modifications. We have to learn to adapt, and this is all part of the process. Be creative, step out of your shell, step out of the box, and do something different that you know is going to be a benefit to you, but can also be a benefit to somebody else. And I've always thought that way since I started. This is how it has been for me. It's never taken away from my money. It's never taken away from my bread. It's never taken away from my plate. I'm more than happy to share from my plate. And the reason why I feel this way, not just because of the fact that my name Kareem means generous, and I like to give. I like to be a person who gives. I've mentioned this before on this show a number of times. I put it in my Instagram post. I put it in my story. There is a verse in the Bible that I live by. I try my best to live by each and every day, and sometimes it's hard. It's difficult sometimes. But Proverbs 3:27, very, very simply, it says, "Do not hold back good to those to whom it's owing, if it is within your power to do so." I'm gonna say it one more time. Actually, it's not to do so; it's to give it. To do so is an older text version, but either way, it still applies. It still makes the same point. Do not withhold good to those to whom it's owing, if it is within your power to give it. So if it's within my power to screenshot somebody's live session, tag them in it and say, XXX is going live right now. It took me 5 seconds. It's within my power to do it. Why wouldn't I do it? If it's within my power to look at someone's Instagram feed, look at their page, their profile. Oh, they posted a new workout. I tap the arrow, add it to my story. This person's workout of the day. Tag them. It took me 10 seconds. Why wouldn't I do that? If it's within my power to give good to somebody, why wouldn't I do that? So that's what I'm trying to do more and more right now. And I know that, it's kind of weird when you're, if we're talking about technology right now, your Instagram timeline, especially your live feed, your story, when you have a lot of things going on, the dots, the lines get smaller, and they turn into dots. So I put out as much as I can. I keep sharing as much as I can. And then if anything, maybe today I didn't share a one person's thing, but tomorrow I will. If a person has been going live each and every day, I'll make sure I remind people, hey, this person's going live. But another person that I haven't seen before going live, who might be doing a yoga session, I'll put them in there and I'll say, this person's going live right now, do yoga. Just to get people engaged, get people involved. And again, if a person decides, hey, you know what, Coach K is doing that, I'm going to do the same thing. Great. If they don't, cool. That's something that I'm choosing to do to contribute to the community. And any way that I can do that for people, I'm going to do it. I'm not being paid to do it. No one is secretly sponsoring me to do it. We're all in the same boat. So if I have room in my boat to have you come along, and I'm not saying, all right, I'm going to drag you. If I have room to put you in my boat, to invite you in that boat, we're all in the same position. Why not share space in my boat for you to come along? And maybe, just maybe, what you do might resonate with someone that follows me, or might resonate with someone that works with me and says, hey, you know what? That person does boxing. I want to try that one day. Coach K, you don't really do boxing, right? Nah, but go check him out. Oh man, I really want to try that yoga class. Oh, you know that person? Yeah, go check them out. And now we have an interchange. We're not trying to be greedy here. I'm definitely not trying to be greedy, because we have to be reasonable with our time. We have to recognize that there's only so much that we can do in a day. And when everything gets back to normal, when we have a schedule of seeing clients and building rapport and keep creating connections again all over the place, and everything starts to get back into how it was before, now you actually have a community where people go, oh yeah, I remember that guy's class. Oh yeah, I remember that guy's boxing this, or I remember that girl's yoga this, or her boot camp class, or yeah, her booty program, I did that. We all in some way are in tap with each other. Whereas the way things were before, it was like, yeah, I know this trainer over here, but I only par with them because yeah, they're over there. I know that trainer too, and yeah, but they're not. I don't know if they're really cool with me. I'm not sure. Now it's almost like you're trapped in a room, and you have no choice but to talk to people in the room. Now you can decide to not talk to people, but the silence gets deafening after a while. So you do kind of open up and say, "So how long have you been a trainer for?" And now conversation starts. And you realize that maybe what you thought of that person on that side, the tension that you might have had towards that person and saying, I don't really mess with that person too much. They're too loud, they're too this, or too that. I don't really, they wear this, they're too revealing, they're too blah, 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 blah. Whatever sort of thoughts or sentiment you might have had towards that person, now because you had a conversation with them, you see them in a different light. Now because you jumped into my Tabata class or my bootcamp class in the morning, even though you've heard about it through other people and you kind of go, yeah, no, I'm kind of cool doing what I do. Now you give it a try and you go, oh, wow, this is actually kind of interesting. And now you're tuned in. It doesn't mean that you're going to leave what you've been doing all this time, but now you have an option. And now you have an option that is going to say, yeah, come on, jump in. And you have no fear, no threat of me trying to reach into your plate and take your bread because I'm the one that's passing you the bread in the first place. And now I'm not trying to put all kind of onus and credit on myself. I'm not doing that. I'm not trying to big myself up, hype myself up in any way, shape, or form. But the point is that, again, we're all in the same boat. We're all in the same position. We're all trying to do the best that we can. And I figure if we can all help each other out, if it's within our power to help each other to further what it is that we're trying to do, then why not? I had a conversation with a guy named Chris who's helping me with my website. And he had a baby. Things got busy. Things got a little bit heavy as far as him taking on my project. So I kind of put things on pause. I said, you know what? I'll come back to him whenever the time is right. But you know what? I'm going to work on things on my own and see what I can get done. Have a conversation with him tonight. And he's like, listen, man, we can make this still work. I'm glad you didn't give up on the project. I got things ready to go. Let's see what we can put together now that we have the time. And that is what I wanted to get to, guys, to help us understand something. Before we didn't have time. We were so occupied with this and that and this and that and this happening here and this happening there. Now we have time. What are we going to do with that time? Are we going to waste it? Sleep all day, wake up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to go for a walk maybe for 15 minutes, come back inside, watch TV, Netflix all day. Or are you going to enjoy the time you have, take time to pause, to breathe, read, do some self-reflection, and then put it to use? A lot of people are relying on motivation. They're saying, oh man, I'm not motivated to train at home. I'm not motivated to do this. I'm not motivated to go for a run. I'm not motivated to go move here, do this, that. I'm not motivated to go on a live and watch a feed of a class. Yeah, I'm used to being in your class, Kareem, but it's not the same thing. But something that people need to understand is that, and I gotta shout my guy out, Junior John Paul, who's been doing a phenomenal job running the online stuff with his team. He's not the only one I'm going to shout out in this podcast, but I just definitely want to give him a shout out on this one. Someone had asked him, how do you stay motivated? He said, I'm not motivated. Motivated is nothing. I have a purpose. I'm driven by the purpose. And when I thought about what he said, I took it in and I said, you know what? He has a point. Because motivation is just a ticket to get on the bus. And you can have a roll of tickets. You can have a roll of tickets of motivation all day. But you got to get on the bus. You got to find yourself a seat. And you got to be in that seat. And you got to be determined to be in that seat, whether it be for minutes, for hours, for days, for months, going towards your destination. Because you have a purpose. So if you make activity and being active your purpose, your why, your reason, because you want to stay active during this time. You don't want to sit around and end up gaining weight because you're stressed out, you're anxious, and on top of that, you're eating all your go bag snacks, which I know some people are probably doing right now because they're realizing I stocked up for all this stuff for what? Who knows? All you people with toilet paper too bad for you, now you can't return it. All I'm just saying is that when you have a purpose behind something, it makes it that much stronger. Motivation is just a ticket to get on the bus. So yes, I am motivated every day to get up, But my purpose is to get up and go and move and take action and take the lead in my family, in my home, to make sure that I'm doing things so that my wife is taken care of, my mother-in-law is taken care of, my family is taken care of. Any way that I can help people out, they're being taken care of. And I know it's not all me, it's not all my responsibility for sure, but I have a purpose in mind. And that's what I'm driven by. So if you're driven by motivation, motivation is great. Inspiration is great. Hashtag this, that. It's great. It's awesome. But I can give you tickets of motivation. I can give you motivational quotes all day, inspirational quotes all day. You can listen to this three times over, all day long. Go, yeah, man, yeah, motivated now. What are you gonna do with that energy? You know, it's like a person who just decides to eat carbs for energy. They go, oh, I need my fuel. Okay, cool. But you eat all those carbs and you sit at home. You sit on the chair, and those carbs are waiting to be used, and you don't use them, and they convert to sugar, and then it causes weight gain, and then you blame the carbs. You say it's carbs' fault why I gained weight. Well, it's not the carbs' fault. It's because you didn't take action and move. You didn't take the opportunity that you had to do something. You weren't driven by a purpose. So this period of pause hopefully gives everybody an opportunity to find their purpose, find what they're driven by. Be inspired, be driven by something, and then make movements accordingly. This pause, we don't know how long it's going to be. We heard here in Montreal, it's May 1st. Speaking to my guy Chris, he was saying, yeah, I can probably project it might be even June by the time we'll get back into the gym. Okay, fine. So we're getting into summer. Are you working on your summer body? Are you working on your summer mind? Are you working on building these habits now so that when summer comes, you're good to go? So when the fall comes, you're good to go? All these things we have to take into account. You can't just sit there and go, I'm waiting to be motivated, I'm waiting to be inspired, something motivate me. You gotta have a purpose, man. And when you have a purpose, it makes the world of a difference. Because you will get up every day, you will dress yourself up, instead of being in your PJs all day. And nothing wrong with being in your pajamas all day. That's how you want to roll in cool. But you will change those pajamas. You'll come out of your robe, you put on a shirt, you put on a pair of pants. Maybe it's a nicer pair of jogging pants you got. Maybe you have like these rather tattered patchwork pants you wear to sleep. Maybe you'll put on a nice pair of Lululemons. You move around your house and you move around with purpose. You'll be driven to do something. You'll feel more driven to take out the garbage, take out the recycling. Okay, boom, I got that done. Check it off your list. You'll be more driven, motivated, or moved to wash the dishes up in the sink, make sure your kitchen is clean. Boom, I got that done. Now you're gonna sit down, you're gonna read a book. Might read a book for 15, 20 minutes. Boom, you got that done. Write down a list of things you wanna do the next day. Boom, you got that done. Now you're putting things in plan because you have a purpose in mind. Your purpose is to get something done that's gonna help you get towards your goal. Because your goal doesn't die just because we are summoned to sit on the couch. Your goal doesn't die because you are summoned to go to your room. Your goal doesn't die because now, instead of training at a gym in front of people, you now are training in front of your mirror, in your bedroom, in front of a phone. Your goal doesn't die and shouldn't die. And if you have a purpose and you're driven by it, it won't. It definitely won't. The positive impact that has been happening with this whole pause, people are now checking in on each other. I'm hoping that continues. And that this is not just I did this for the time being, and then once this is all over, we stop checking in on each other. Now you've had an opportunity to make friends. I've had great interactions with people I've never spoken to before. And now, this morning I had a great interaction with one girl who used to train. She lives in Ottawa now, or just on the border of Ottawa. But she used to train here in the West Island, and I never spoke to her before ever in my life. And I had a conversation with her via Instagram, and it was cool. She was asking me a question about whether she should eat before and then go to work out or after. I was giving her some tips and stuff like that. But if this scenario never came about, maybe we never would have interacted. Maybe we would have interacted only later on. Maybe I would have never introduced during the live class. And now I have something in my arsenal, something different to offer. Now other trainers have something different to offer. So maybe now instead of doing, 6 bootcamp classes a day, now 3 of them are virtual and 3 of them are in person. Changes everything. Now people who can't make it can actually make it. Now there are ways to make things happen. So there's a lot of retrospect, I know I was talking about people checking in on each other, which is great. I messaged and called people and just said, hey, just want to make sure you guys are okay, you guys are safe. People I haven't had a chance to message or text in a while because I've been busy. Now I have time. Now I dedicate time to make that work, to make that happen. I get a chance to call my parents, talk to them a little bit more. Because I've been busy, I haven't been able to do that. But now I'm making the time to make that happen. Businesses are being shared on their live feeds. Everyone's coming together to encourage each other. Again, like I was talking about, sharing each other's, doing different things. People are using FaceTime, people are using Zoom, people are using Instagram Live, they're using Facebook Live, they're finding different platforms. Some great idea will be created out of all of this that will actually enable everybody to come together on a platform. I feel it's gonna happen real soon. I know there's other platforms that are in place right now, but something is gonna come out of this, I'm sure. I'm really encouraging people to support local businesses. If you can get out there and virtually order online from your local flower shop and get them to drop it off at your front door, just to have flowers in your home, or maybe you want to deliver it to someone's house. Do something like that. Just continue to keep business flowing as best as you can. Caribbean Curry House on Victoria near Barclay. I went there the other day. Always a good time. No one was in there. Of course, they have to reduce their hours. They have to reduce their serving space because of the virus. But I said, any way that I can continue to support them. I know West Island, Victoria, they carry it a little bit far. But anyway, I can get up there. If I can get up there once a week, that'd be great. Order some food just to keep things flowing. And again, promotion, showing that, hey guys, I went and got my food from here, and people locally might decide, oh, cool, and then everything starts to grow, build up even more from there, because we don't want to stop supporting these small businesses that are really going to be affected by all of these changes. Use the time that you have available to you to work on a skill. Build your strengths. Work on a weakness, something that you've been weak with for a period of time. It could be something physical. It could be something mentally. It could be something spiritual. It could be something work related. It could be a skill that you would need towards a certain job. Maybe you can do a course online. Now do you have the time? I'm thinking of all the things that I had set out to do, and I said, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Didn't have time to do it. Now I have the time to do it. I just have to dedicate time in my day. But because I have a purpose, I'm going to make sure that I put it in my schedule so that I get it done. I don't just waste time scrolling on my feed all day, because that can definitely get distracting. And tasks that you are limited by time, you were able to complete. Now you have the time. I haven't had a doorbell in my house, fun fact, in months. And the other day I went out and I bought an actual bell, because we got a new bell that has the whole video thing, but it has to be synced to the bell inside. And I said, you know what? I've never done this kind of electrical work, but I'm going to figure it out. Because no one can come to my house right now. I'm going to do it. And I hope I don't shock myself. And if I get it wrong, it's okay. I have time to figure it out. Because again, I have time. I want to make the best use of my time to get some things done. If you have house projects, things you wanted to paint, something that you wanted to patch, something that you wanted to, you want to rearrange your closet, change colors, something like that. There's always something you can do now that we have the time. We don't have to train all day. I don't train all day. Other trainers out there, I'm sure they'll tell you, they don't train all day. They might record something, post it out there, and then they're done for the day and they move on to something else. And I'm not saying it's wrong to sit at home and watch Netflix and watch a movie here and watch a movie there. If you want to dedicate a day to doing that, go right ahead. I'm not saying not to do that. But we have the time available to us. Because what tends to happen, and I've had this happen to me several times, I can speak from experience, and I know a lot of people who are listening would definitely agree with me on this, is that we often say, man, I don't have time to do this. Now you have all the time to make it happen. And then what happens? You waste time. Now your schedule goes back to normal. Boom. Now you're stuck. But you had the time to do it before, but now you're stuck because you didn't take the time that you had available to you. You let it waste away. I said to myself, listen, I'm not gonna let my time waste away. I'm gonna work on this project, that assignment, that. I'm gonna put this to use, that to use here. I'm gonna contact this person, communicate with this person. I have time. But the thing is, we have the time, but we don't want to waste it. We don't want to say, yeah, I have time, I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah, I have time, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next week. I'll do it in 2 weeks. Time goes by. Before you know it, you're back at work. Where'd all the time go? I didn't even get a chance to do this. Why? Because you wasted the opportunity that was before you. See, we see this COVID-19 coronavirus as being a major obstacle. It is, because it affects our health and our well-being. But there are opportunities that come out of this as well. Opportunities for us to show how much do we care about our neighbors by staying home. How much do we care about our family members by not going out to visit them. You know, we're told, don't go visit those who are 70 and over. I'm just gonna go see my grandma anyways. It's fine. I'm good. Do you want to be the person who could have caused her to get sick? God forbid, but just saying, right? There are plenty of opportunities that we have within these obstacles that we can build on, take advantage of, and really grow from it and grow into something that could be something great. Like I said, I threw that idea out there for someone who says, hey, I'm going to contact all these trainers and I'm going to build a platform that allows them to do live feeds, and it gives you a live feed generator so that they can do live classes and stuff like that. There are things out there that already exist, I'm sure, but maybe you have a way to make it better because you have time to refine it, to see what other people are doing and create your own platform and make things happen. Just throwing an idea out there. If someone wants to jump on that, for sure, just make sure you pay me my 5%. The effects of illness, of course, many people are going through the struggle. This illness is real. The cases continue to add up. We have to be smart about how we do things. Not to bash the United States, but in the United States right now, Florida, listen, man, I saw a video of spring break. Y'all are wilding out there. People are still going to the beach. A guy was interviewed and he said, listen, if I get corona, I get corona. And nothing's going to stop me from partying. People are still going to clubs. Not realizing the impact that it has and how it can spread. We want to minimize that as best we can. So if you can do so locally within your community, please do that to the best of your ability. Think of the older ones who can't get visitors now. If there's a way that you can communicate with them, send them a letter, maybe you can go outside an old age home and just wave at everybody through a window. Might be something you can consider doing. Lonely ones are legitimately getting lonely. So if you know anyone who might be lonesome, reach out to them, give them a call, send them a text message, hit them up. Before you never had time to call them, now you do. Dedicate time, 30 minutes, just to see how they're doing. For sure they would love that. Watching media and the news all day takes a toll on your mental health. And not many people are speaking about this because they're forgetting the fact that this kind of stuff causes anxiety. So imagine you're a person who's already anxious. Now you watch the news all day, you're getting more anxious. Now you can't sleep. Now you're getting depressed. Now you're putting yourself in a deeper hole. You can't get out of it because you already were in the hole and now you just slip further because you're spending a lot of time being consumed by what the news is saying. Not saying you can't watch the news, but consuming yourself with everything that's out there just continues to flood and flood and flood. Take a break. Take a pause. Breathe. Disconnect yourself. Look out the window. Look at the clouds. Look at the stars at night. You know, talk to the kids in your home. Talk to your spouse. Talk to your friend. Read a book. Do something different. Get active. Move. Go for a walk. Explore nature. Visit nature and see what's out there. Instead of being consumed with what's in your phone or your iPad or your computer or what's on TV. We need to take a break from that because that stuff does definitely take a toll. Okay, you don't have to be immersed in every segment. This person's saying now it's a conspiracy theory and blah 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 blah, and the government's after you and this is that. All it is causing paranoia. Let's not create that kind of problem for each other. So now you're probably wondering, okay, so this whole scenario has been causing stress and anxiety for a lot of people. How do we combat this stress? Now, there's a magazine called The Awake magazine. It's article number 1 of 2020. And the title of the article is "Find Relief from Stress," and I'm actually going to post a link in the bio of this episode. Also in my Instagram post when I post a bit of the video, so you guys get a chance to check it out. I'm just gonna highlight some points from the magazine because what people don't realize is that stress is a big deal. if you have a fitness goal and you're a person who is normally stressed out, so in case you didn't realize what happens physically, okay, speaking from an exercise standpoint, so when you do activity, you stress your body. It's good stress, but of course, stress hormones like cortisol gets released. Now, if you are stressed on top of being stressed from being active, that increases it even more. Now, someone would think, well, that's good stress. There's good stress, and then there's, you might be risking your life here, or risking your physical health, or putting at risk your goals, because stress can cause your body to do things that it shouldn't, okay? Known causes of stress: loss of a job, loss of a loved one, hectic pace of life, disaster, severe illness, worrying about financial losses, job security, everything that's affecting us right now. So we have reason to be stressed out. But should we stay in a state of stress all day? Well, think about it, guys. When we get up, when we go to work, just thinking about getting up to go to work, stress level goes up. Get ready, get moving. Oh, you're in a rush. Stress level goes up. Now you go sit in your car. You're sitting in traffic. Stress level goes up. Now you get to work. You're worried about, oh, my boss is gonna get me for being late. Stress level goes up. Oh, I have this report due. Stress level goes up. Clock's ticking. Stress is going up from just listening to the clock. All these things continue to hit us. I wish I could find the quote. When I find it, I'm gonna make sure I put it in my Instagram story again. I quoted this guy. I can't remember. I think his name was John or Jeremy. He's a writer, and he was likening stress to, get this, being chased by a saber-toothed tiger every day of your life. Now, we don't even have to put it to a saber-toothed tiger. Imagine being chased by a mob. Imagine being chased by a dog, if you're afraid of dogs, okay? Or a tiger, or a lion, or a pack of monkeys. I don't know, who knows? You're being chased by something. Your adrenaline level goes through the roof. Your adrenal glands are being taxed each and every day because you're stressed. Guess what that does for your body? Well, your body has a natural response to stress. It shuts things down so it can conserve energy for you to keep going. Now, if it shuts these things down for you to keep going, even though you're just sitting at your desk, typing away at your computer, making sure you're getting that report done, and you figure, okay, I'm gonna eat this salad, I'm cool, I'm on my way to losing weight, I'm great, I'm good. And you realize, whoa, I'm still gaining weight. You know why? Stress. Because your digestive system stops. It doesn't work the way that it should. All these things are affected. Okay, again, going back to the Weight magazine, as to what is stress, let me give you a little breakdown. Okay, how it affects your body. It highlights several points: nervous system, musculoskeletal system, respiratory system, cardiovascular system, endocrine system, gastrointestinal system, that's your digestion, reproductive system, okay? Impotence can happen. Disrupted menstrual cycle can happen. Too much stress, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation. It can happen because of stress. Diabetes, lower immunity, increased illness. Think about this, guys. Think about this. You're stressed out about this illness. Watching the news all day. You're worried, you're stressed. You go outside to the grocery store because you need to go get a couple items. Someone out there is sick. You get sick. Why? Because your immune system is low. Do you guys understand now? Here's the problem. If we find a way to reduce our stress or relieve ourselves from stress as much as we can, we have an opportunity to strengthen our immune system. We can't allow our bodies to repair if we're constantly in a state of stress. Mood swings, weight gain, high blood pressure, heart attack, stroke, hyperventilation, shortness of breath, panic attacks. If you've ever had a panic attack out there, I'd love to hear your experience. Not because I want to compare yours to mine, but I'll tell you right now, I had a panic attack. I've had a couple of them. Not a good feeling. Had one while I was training a client at work one time, and I told her, okay, keep going, counting those reps. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. And I actually sat in the bathroom for 10 minutes, just sitting there, because I couldn't understand what was happening to my body. And I was having a panic attack, and I had to breathe. I had to calm myself down. I had to pray. Breathe, be calm, relax, pray. And it helped. but it's scary when it happens. And if you don't know what's happening to your body when those things happen, it can freak you out. But these things happen with stress. Irritability, anxiety, depression, headaches, insomnia. You can't sleep. I watched this movie on Sunday. Had a hard time sleeping. Why? Started getting stressed. I was like, man, started getting anxious. But all these things aren't going to help us. We have to learn to shift our perspective and look at the positives of this experience. Now, yes, you can say, Kareem, how can you be positive when people are dying? You're right. It's difficult. It's tough. It's hard. I know. I think about it every day and I go, yeah, how can you really be positive when people are dying? They're losing their lives. When you realize that you can do a positive thing within your own community, on your own street, by just staying home, you are contributing. Even if it's a small contribution, you are contributing to saving another person's life by not being out there and causing further stress and angst and anxiety for everyone else. To have everyone's immune system get low, to have everyone get sick, and now we have a problem. Something definitely to think about. This magazine article, I'm gonna post a link again, guys. It's definitely an article worth reading. It does go also mention the spiritual benefits or strategies. Actually, I'll give you a bit of a strategy. Different things that we can do to deal with stress. And there's a list here that I'm going to give you. Of course, it's also part of the article. Try to live one day at a time. Okay? Again, using a Bible verse. Guys, this book has definitely saved my life. I'm going to show you something. Okay? Never be anxious about the next day, for the next day will have its own anxieties. Why are we worrying about tomorrow? Tomorrow's not here. Okay? Matthew 16, verse 34. Definitely something to keep in mind. Okay? Never be anxious about the next day, for the next day will have its own anxieties. One day at a time, guys. We got to go at this one day at a time. Don't worry about next month. Don't worry about May or June. Summer Olympics, who cares? NBA, NHL season is, what are we going to do? Don't worry about that. That's not now. Let's be concerned about what's happening around us right now. Daily anxieties are part of life. Okay? So what are some things you have to remember? Stress is going to be inevitable. It's going to be around us. We can't avoid it. Okay? We can't avoid it. We can't avoid the situation right now. All we can do is just reduce the impact that it might have on us. But we can do our part by recognizing that, okay, it's here. What am I going to do about it? Find reasons to laugh. Find reasons to accept the fact, okay, it's here. Now what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Okay, you're in a scenario in the boat. Okay, what are we going to do? Are we going to stay in the boat and just float? Or are we going to paddle and go a different direction? Something to definitely to think about. Reasonable standards you want to set. Okay, don't try to be a perfectionist during all of this. You're going to make mistakes in the whole process. Even when it comes to your goals, even when things are normal, remember that. Don't try to be a perfectionist. Get things done. Be as consistent as you can. Consistency is key. Regularity is key. It's not going to be perfect, but you keep working on your goal. You keep working towards that, and you'll see a difference. Be modest, set reasonable standards, know your limitations. Know the limitations of others as well. Okay? Know what stresses you. Be able to discern that. Again, another Bible verse, Proverbs 17:27. A discerning man will remain calm. If you discern what it is that's stressing you out, you're able to recognize those stressors right away. It'll calm you down. You'll say, okay, I know this is what happens. This triggers this. Okay, what am I going to do to combat that? Create a map. Figure out how you can reduce that for yourself. Identify certain things that happen, and then the behaviors that come along with when you feel stressed. Do you eat when you feel stressed out? Do you turn to food? Do you turn to bad habits like smoking? Do you turn to watching movies or entertainment and stuff that's going to be just flooding your mind with more negative thoughts? It's going to make you more stressed out. Some people, they turn to exercise. It's great, but do you overdo it? Do you end up overtraining? Do you end up doing 6 classes a day because you're stressed out? Because you're trying to run from your problem? That's you running from the saber-toothed tiger each and every day, adding on to what's already stressing you. Doesn't make sense. Try to see things in a different light. Some of the suggestions that the magazine is giving. Don't be quick to assume bad motives. See the positive side of the situation. Okay, this is a key one. See the positive side of a situation. A long wait at a doctor's office or an airport is easier to bear if you use the time to do some reading, to catch up on work email, or to do something creative, constructive, that's going to help you to get through the time that passes. Guys, we are limited right now. May 1st is not tomorrow. May 1st is not next week. What are we going to do with the time we have now to let the time pass instead of sitting there and going, when is this going to end? This is torture. This is terrible. I just want to go to the gym. I just want to go to here. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, move on. Do something different. Again, going back to the point. Work on a skill. Work on a habit. Create a habit. Develop a habit. And then blog about it. Boom, you just created something. Keep the big picture in mind. The big picture right now is the fact that we're trying to save other people. Try to protect other people as best we can. Big picture is we're trying to protect each other. We want to show love for each other by doing what we need to do now in order to make that happen, to make that work. Okay, other suggestions are try to be orderly, so maintain some organization in your life. Don't just have everything as a big mess. Pursue a balanced lifestyle. You have more time now to learn balance, and hopefully you incorporate that in your everyday life when everything goes back to normal. Keep technology in its place. Avoid constantly checking emails, texts, or social media sites. Very, very key. Unless circumstances require it, do not check work-related email outside of working hours, guys. Give yourself time to just breathe and relax and recover. Okay? Take care of your health, guys. I can't stress this enough. Take care of your health. Take care of your health. Take care of your health. Please do so. Eat well. Now's the best time for you to do things. Meal prep. Practice meal prepping. Now that you have the time to do it, boom. Get in the habit of making it work. If you have a purpose in mind, you'll practice meal prepping. Okay? Be active. 30 minutes a day is all we ask for. Online, some of these IG live classes, 30 minutes. Okay? 30 minutes about it here, a 40-minute class here, 30-minute stretch here, yoga this, that, whatever it is you have. Meditation class if you want to do something. Take care of your health. Take care of your physical health and your mental health. Don't sit there and eat a whole bag of chips. Don't go to Costco, buy the biggest bag of chips and just sit there and eat it all day because you can. You have a choice. Choose to do something different. Okay? Set priorities. So make sure you plan out your day, plan out your week, get some support, talk to friends. Encourage one another. Okay? Proverbs 12:25, big, huge verse. Huge verse, guys. Pay attention to this. Anxiety in the man's heart weighs it down, but a good word cheers it up. Call somebody. Let them know you're thinking about them. Cheer them up, because maybe they need it. And maybe you showing kindness to somebody else is going to also help you to feel better about the situation that you're in. Because if you're able to listen to this freely, and you have food in your fridge, and you have a bed to sleep on, you have somewhere to go at the end of the day, you have a roof over your head, you have a car that you can drive, or you have bus fare, you have whatever it is, transportation, you're allowed to get around. You are mobile, you're able to move, you have legs, you can walk, you can run, you can jog, you can sprint, you can do whatever. You have so much more than so many more people out there. Be appreciative, be grateful, and share that positive energy with someone else, because a lot of people out there need that. And of course, care for your spiritual need. I'm a spiritual person. I'm a person, I read the Bible every day. I take part in meetings each week. That definitely helps me to stay spiritually focused, because that's always been my number one priority. And upkeeping with people in my congregation definitely helps me out. It's such a relief to have people who are in the same boat as you, to be able to encourage you and know that they'll come through for you to help you out, even if it's from a distance right now. You know, a friend of mine made a point. He said social distancing doesn't mean we can't be social with each other. We're asked to be physically distant, which means don't socialize in groups physically, but we can still meet in groups virtually. Seems kind of weird, kind of odd. I know a lot of people are using Zoom right now. I saw some of my friends having a drink with each other on Zoom, just having a conversation and chatting. It's a new norm right now. It's what's normal right now, temporarily. But maybe that's going to be the way that people carry things out. You know, I spoke to my cousin on the phone 2 days ago. I haven't spoken to him since he told me he was having his first child. I don't know how many years ago that was, but we had a great conversation. about 20, 30 minutes. But he's like, yeah, hit me up on Zoom. Let's see each other. Let's catch up. We have ways to make things work. But now that we have the time, I made the time to text him to reach out and say, hey man, haven't heard from you in a while. Hope you and your family are great. Boom, hey, yeah, give me a call. Boom, we had a conversation, things worked out. Because we have the time. Now, take advantage of the time you have, take advantage of the opportunities you have, see the opportunities through the obstacles, because this obstacle we have is temporary, but if we can make the most of it and be the best at it and help other people to be the best through this obstacle as well, definitely it's going to benefit you guys. Again, I got those points from the Awake magazine, article number 1 of 2020. I'm going to put the link, you can find the link online to get that magazine and read through it. Definitely is something to consider. It's very, very timely that it came out right now. So I wanted to share those points with you guys to offer some encouragement. So moving forward, what are we going to do now? Wednesday, this episode, you're going to hear this on a Wednesday, so I'm going to say this today. Today being Wednesday, what are we going to do now? How are we going to move forward? How are we going to go into things? Has this episode helped you to kind of shift your perspective? Okay, I'd love to get some feedback on what you guys thought. Definitely, I'm here to encourage and empower people, even if it's from a distance right now. Send me a DM, send me an email, send me a text. My contact information is available through my social media, through my Good Fit Fitness Instagram account, also my Facebook account. You can send me a message, even if you're just a random person who heard this from across the world and said, hey man, I really need a boost and you have a question. I'm down to answer questions. We all want to make ourselves available for each other. That's how we show we love each other. That's how we show we care, especially during a time right now where we can all use a helping hand, even if we can't touch each other physically. We're limited by the space that we're in right now, but we're unlimited with the ideas and as to how we can stay communicated and stay connected, and how we can help each other, how we can encourage one another, how we can empower one another moving forward. Before I sign off, I want to send a special shout out to all the trainers out there who are all in the same boat as me. Guys, I feel your pain. I totally understand where you're coming from. You're strategizing, you're trying to think of different ideas as to how you can get things moving. There's apps we can use. We can continue to use live platforms. Zoom, as I mentioned. Maybe you have your own ideas as to how you're doing things. Maybe you're putting out free ebooks. Maybe you're charging people for ebooks. Maybe you're still doing sessions like I'm doing sessions on FaceTime. I'm just putting it out there, guys. If you have any ideas or your questions, you're wondering, okay, Kareem, what are you doing? How are you making things move? Do not be shy to ask. I'm here to share what's on my plate. Even if what I have on my plate is a little bit, I'll give you a piece of that, because we all need to eat. We all need to find a way to eat. And if we can make a recipe out of what it is, these little crumbs that we got going on right now, because our plates aren't as full as they used to be before, let's see what we can do. Let's see how we can supercharge this whole movement, infuse it with some positive energy, and keep everybody on the same line. Because at the end of the day, we have a lot to be grateful for. We have a lot to be happy about. And if you have a family member who has been affected by COVID-19, coronavirus, and they are sick, I'm praying for a speedy recovery for them. I'm praying that you guys are safe. I'm praying that everybody out there is safe. Locally here in my community, people have been doing pretty much a good job. I know out here in Montreal, they're trying to do the best they can. We don't know how long this is going to be for, guys, but the bright side of things is there's so many opportunities that we have to grow from this. And hopefully it teaches people to be cleaner. Hopefully after all this is done, people don't go back to going to the bathroom and not washing their hands, because if that's the case, this was a fail. Hopefully there is a great success that comes out of this for a lot of people. Maybe someone sitting at home comes up with a great idea and they generate it into something, a multi-million-dollar business, or an idea that they sell to somebody and they're able to just chill for the rest of their life. Who knows? Something can definitely come out of it, and any way, shape, or form that I can help you to promote that, to encourage you to move forward with an idea. If you want to bounce ideas off me, don't be shy to let me know. Hit me up, send me a DM. I'm always around. I'm always available. Guys, we're in this together. We're going to get through it together. I'm very, very confident. I'm positive about it, and I'm looking forward to seeing the outcome of everything. And I'm hoping that it definitely brings everyone together, especially in the fitness community. I'm hoping it brings everyone together. Keep your mental health in check, keep your physical health in check, and make sure that everyone around you is also in check. This has been the Hustler's Journal, Season 2, Episode number 3. I want to thank everyone for listening in. Again, please send me your feedback, whether it be through IG, whether it be comments underneath this episode. This might actually be the highest listened episode because now everyone has time to hear it. I hope so. But again, if you have any questions about anything that was discussed, any of the points that I made through the Awake magazine article that I share with you, again, I'm going to post a link so you guys have a chance to check it out yourselves. Read up on it because it's definitely timely information that can help all of us, each and every one of us, in some way, shape, or form. And if it doesn't help us, it can help someone else that we might know who will be in need of such great, timely information. This episode and other episodes are also available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Radio Public, and the list goes on and on. I'm going to put the link to this episode in my profile, in my Good Fit Fitness profile. So if you haven't yet followed me on Instagram, it's GOODFITT_fitness. You can look for Coach K, look for Kareem. I'm likely to be found. I got a lot of people who I've been following, a lot of people that I'm motivated and inspired by. A lot of people are teaching me to have a purpose and be driven by something, and I definitely have a purpose and I'm driven by this, and I want to provide this information to everybody so everyone can benefit in some way, shape, or form. And if you hear this and you feel you think to yourself, this is a resume with me, man, this is another guy just rambling for an hour and actually it's been an hour and a minute now. Maybe it doesn't resonate with you now, but maybe after all of this is over, you listen to it again and you realize that here's a person out here that's just trying to show concern for everybody, trying to encourage everyone. That's what everyone should do. We are in the driver's seat right now to encourage everybody as best we can. And we are not limited by technology. We can see people facially, we can see their facial expressions, we can call them, we can text them, we can voice note them. I'm having a great time voice noting people because sometimes I'm like, I can text you, but my thumbs kind of get a little bit tired. I'd rather just voice note you because maybe you'd rather hear a person's voice instead of reading a text, and then you'll actually get to hear my voice to know just how sincere I'm being. So think of these things, guys. These are different things that we can put into practice, put into play, and to make things work for everybody. Once again, I want to thank everyone for sitting in and listening to this episode. I didn't expect it to be this long, but with so much to say and so much to share, I just wanted to drive that point forward, that we are in the driver's seat to do positive things, to do great things, to make great things happen, amazing things. Yes, we are without sports, we're without certain entertainment, but guys, we are not without each other. We can definitely be a source of encouragement to one another, and I hope that you're able to do that for the people in your home, for the people in your community, the people in the fitness community, whatever industry that you're in. However we can support each other, let's continue to do that and drive the narrative forward, being a positive narrative and not a negative one. It's the Hustlers Journal, episode number 3, season number 2. Signing off, guys. Peace out. Thanks for listening. Let's go.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Coach K in the building. Thank you so much for watching. To get more from Good Fit, including training videos, the Daily Hustle series, and more episodes of the Hustlers Journal, visit our channel and follow us on Instagram. And before you go, remember to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with the latest premium content.